Good morning, children. Hope you are fine and you have finished that both poem question answer I have sent yesterday. I think I have taught already in the class the poem. So please write in your fair notes. Let's start today lesson 9, Pip and the Convict. It is a part adapted from the Great Expectation by Charles Dickens. In England, in a lonely village not far from London, lived a young boy named Philip, whom everybody called Pip. In short, people are calling that boy Pip. He had lost his parents when he was a baby. In his early age, he lost his parents and had been brought up by his older sister, the wife of the Joe Gargi. Joe was a blacksmith whose forge means a place where blacksmith works, looked out across wide marshes. Marshes means a wet land near a river that flowed through them. Joe was a mild, honest, good-natured, easy-going, foolish, dear fellow, kind to little Pip, and yet was a Hercules for the strength. Okay, Pip was a very good-natured, but his body was a very Hercules type, means very strong, and he has a very great strength in him. Very different indeed was Mrs. Joe. His aunt was very different in nature with the Joe. Everybody called her Mrs. Joe. She was tall and bony, had black hair, red skin, and a continually habit of the scolding. Her habit was always to scold. She may have loved Pip in her way, but in a very cross-grained one. She was always had a very bad temper to him. She treated Joe, the big blacksmith, and Pip same. The little boy just alike, and both of them were equally afraid of her. Both are afraid of his husband. Joe was also afraid, and that Pip boy was also afraid of Mrs. Joe, because her nature was always to scold. The little boy, just okay. Whenever Pip came into the house, he used to look at Joe's finger. If Joe crossed them, it was a sign that Mrs. Joe was cross, and Pip was to look out for himself. Next page. Beside the blacksmith, the only who understood Pip was a little girl named Betty, about his own age and also an orphan. She used to help him with his lesson at school. Okay, his friend name was Biddy, and she was a school friend of the Pip. About his own age and also an orphan, she used to help him with his lesson at school. That girl helped Pip for his lessons. In spite of Joe and Biddy, Pip was sometimes so lonely and miserable that he could steal off alone to the village churchyard. He was always slipped down. Sometimes he went there because when he felt more lonely, he went there. He quietly moved there to the village churchyard, where his father and mother lay buried to cry. Where his father and mother was buried, there he went and he started crying there. Okay, one afternoon, the day before Christmas, Pip feeling very wretched. Means he was not very happy, as then unusual he went there. Usually he was not happy that day and was crying among the graves. Suddenly a rough voice startled him. He was frightened. Okay, that who came? Suddenly a one voice you. Keep still, you little imp, the voice told. Keep still, hillo nahi. Okay, it said, or I will cut your throat. If you will move or if you will shout, I will cut your throat. Then a man rose from behind a tombstone and seized him. And one man was at the behind of that tombstone and took hold tightly. Suddenly he came and hold that pig. He was fearful looking man, dressed in a grey clothes with a grey iron band riveted on his leg. And one iron was riveted in her leg, banda hua. His shoes were torn and he wore a ragged, dirty handkerchief around his head. Completely drenched, means he was with all dust on his cloth. Completely drenched and caked with mud, the man limped and shivered as he walked. Pip had never been so frightened in his life. With a trembling voice, he begged, "Spare me, please," he asked with a fear that leave me. The man asked him his name and where he lived. The man asked Pip, "Where you live, where is your house?" and told him that he could let him go on condition Pip could have to promise to come back the next morning at daybreak to a certain spot in the marshes with a sharp file and something to eat. He warned, "If you tell anyone about me or don't turn up tomorrow, I will cut your heart out and eat it." That man told Pip to take a promise and to come early in the morning with two things, food for it and one file he asks. Poor little Pip was terrified. His voice shook. His voice shook so much that he could hardly promise. With the fear, he was very terrified and he hardly promised that man that he will come next day. When the man set him down, he ran as fast as his leg could carry him. The evening was a miserable one. Pip thought he could save his own supper for the man in case he was not able to get into his sister's pantry. So instead of eating his bread and butter, he slipped it down his trouser leg. In evening, when the supper time, what he done? He did not eat his own supper and he slipped it in his trouser leg, and he thought whether he will get from his sister pantry or not. So he took his bread and butter and kept in his trouser leg. Before long, a great gun began to boom. Suddenly, he heard a gun sound. Pip asked Joe what it was. The blacksmith replied, his uncle replied, "It is a signal that convicts have escaped from the prison ships on the river across the marshes." It was then that Pip realized that the man he had promised to help was a criminal, perhaps a murderer, or who had got away and was hidden from the soldiers. As he asked, he heard the gun. So he asked his uncle, "What is that?" His uncle told that it is a signal that convicts were escaped from the prison. Then Pip realized that maybe that man who met him was a criminal. He could not sleep all night, certain that he would be killed if he did not steal the food. The child was afraid, and so he was not able to sleep in the night, because that man told, if you will not bring, I will cut your heart. Pip crept downstairs at dawn to take some bread and cheese and a meat pie from the pantry. Early morning, he went to his aunt's kitchen and take some bread, cheese and meat pie. He then got a file from the forge, and he went to the forge, the place where the works that his uncle was doing work. Take one file from there and ran through the foggy morning to the marshes, and he ran to meet that man. He had not quite reached when he came upon a man in a grey sitting on the ground with an iron fetter on his leg. He ran to that man, and suddenly he saw a man was sitting in a grey, sitting on a ground, and his leg was also an iron fetter, one chain was also in his leg. Pip sight in the relief. Relief sighted means he was little cooled down that, oh, I got that man. Here was the man he was looking for. But as soon as he got the bruise of the man's cheek, he saw, as soon as he go closer to that, he saw a bruise on the man's cheek. One mark was there. He realized that he was not that. As he go closer to that man, he saw a mark in face, and he realized that that man has no mark on the face. This man sprang to his feet and ran away as soon as he saw Pip. This man, as he saw the Pip, he started running. Pip went on, and at the right spot, he found the man he was looking for. Where that man yesterday told him to meet, he went there and he found that that man was sitting there. He seemed to be starving, for he snatched the food and wolfed it down. He snatched that food, what he bring, and he easily, quickly, greedily, he eat that food. He asked Pip if he had seen anyone else on his way there, and Pip told him of the other man in grey. Pip told that one man also I met there, who also wore an iron on his leg. When Pip spoke of the bruised cheek, this man flew into a rage. Seizing the file, he fit to filling his fetter furiously. Pip told about that other man to him, and he was feel very anger, and he started seizing the file. Pip could see that he hated the other convict and was sorry that the other convict had escaped. But he had fulfilled his promise, so he turned and ran home again. The last thing he heard was the rasp of the file as the man worked madly at the iron. So read today up to page 101 and learn all the word meaning and write in your notes, and I will send you the exercise of this lesson also. So please fill in your book and start learning.